Alright, our first example, identify the GCF for the following two terms. The first term I have is 10x squared. Second term I have is 50x. So factors, remember, are things that multiply. So things that multiply to give us 10x squared. Well, I know 10 can be broken apart into 5 and 2. 5 times 2. And I know x squared can be broken into x times x. Correct? So the factors of 10x squared is 5 times 2 times x times x. The factors of 50 I know is broken into 10 times 5 times x, 50x. And then 10, I can break apart 10 into 2 times 5. Right? So 2 times 5 is 10, 10 times 5 is 50, 50x. Alright, so these are the two factors of x, or the two factors of both terms. So the greatest common factor is the number that they share together, the things that they share together. So let's see, what do they share? Let's see, they both share a 5. They share 1, 5. What else do they share? Oh, they share 2. And the last thing they share is an x. Right, so their greatest common factor, I regret circling that in yellow. Their greatest common factor is 5 times 2 times x. Times x. So the greatest common factor between both terms is 5 times 2 times x, which is 10x. So, because this is their greatest common factor, if I, factoring it out, if I take out a 10x from both, let's see, what goes away? So if I take out this 10x, on the first term, I'm only left with an x. On the second term, I'm only left with a 5, right? So this is 10x, parentheses, x plus 5. The GCF, the greatest common factor, is 10x. And remember, as in the warm-up, this is the factored form. And if we distribute it back in, 10x times x is 10x squared plus 50x. And this is expanded form. Alright, here on this u try, this is a 7n to the 5th. Here on this u try, go ahead and try this u try. You have 21n to the 3rd and 7n to the 5th. Try it first, then press pause, and then check your answer. So go ahead and press pause and try it. Alright, so you guys have tried it already. This is you guys checking your answer. Remember, you guys can just skip the trying part, but when you guys don't try, you guys aren't actually learning. You copying it down is different from you learning. Don't forget that. So factors of 21 is going to give us 7 times 3 times n times n, 7n to the 5th. I have 7 n. The GCF, greatest common factor, is, let's see, they both share 7. And they both share 3 n's. So the greatest common factor is 7 n to the 3rd. So this is the GCF. And let's go ahead and let's write it in factored form. So when I take out the 7n to the 3rd on both terms, on the first term, I am left with a 3. On the second term, I'm left with n times n, so n squared. Right, and this again is factored form. Alright, let's try the next example.